Come on. Why is my face not moving? Why is my face? You were working a second ago. Come on. Oh, hold on. I've been struck by momentary paralysis. Let me fix the settings. Network. Do I need to restart the server? What? Come on. That should be the right one. Come on. Why am I sounding like all growling gravelly like I'm some like... Hold on, is this the right one now? Come on. You said it's connecting. Are you connecting or are you not? Please just work. Phone, please. Please, this is my entire deal is having like... I need to move. This VTuber. I need my little digital face. That's sort of important. Please, help. Are you no, okay. I swear all of this was working before stream started. I'm sorry, but hello IAJ. How's it going? Thanks for stopping by. So I'd have to... Oh god, I have to physically plug this into my computer. Hold on. I got it. Where's the cable spot for the USB-C on this thing? This is an older model. Okay. There's a singular cable for USB-C on this PC. It's that old. This is like a 2016, 17 motherboard. Trust. Oh, come on. Oh, hold on. Oh, God. Do I have to restart the entire... Why are you like this? I just want to come back from vacation and talk about my time, talk about what's going on. And now everything's breaking. Come on. VTube Studio, please. 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 Onegai. Well, at least you guys are getting the nice Christmas music to fit the theme, the season. Okay. Yes? Question mark? Fine, I'll try this IP. Are you gonna... Could not connect. Okay, thank you. Quit the app. Restart the app too. I'm upset. Why are you not working on it? Everything was working perfectly well, and then I left to go make tea, and then bam. Everything had to break on me because of tea. Damn you British people. I don't know. Why'd I default to just saying damn you British people for tea thing? Tea isn't even British. The British adopted it as a big cultural thing, but it's not theirs. Okay. Settings, please work. Find server. Start server. Use this IP. Come on. Well, while all this is happening, how's your all's day going? That's the right number, that's the right port. Just work with me, please. Oh, am I gonna have to pull out a Fugi? Don't make me have to pull out a Fugi just because VTube Studio doesn't want to work. I just want... I see you hitting the connecting, can't connect, connecting, can't connect. What's the problem? What's the issue? Disconnect from Wi-Fi, reconnect from Wi-Fi? Is that what you want? Is any of this what you want to make things work? Well, that then. Get a close down. You, VTube Studio. Where's my Fugi? Reactive by Fugi Tech. Come on, one of you's gotta have something. Browser, where am I? Why are you not showing anything? That should be my Fugi. Is that active? That's right. What? Why is everything breaking today? Oh my god, I'm making you from scratch, baby. Yes, I see you loading. Something's gotta be... Is it just... Hold on, is it just... Come on. Discord, don't you dare. Not right now. Stop having your RTC connection issues. Hello? This is just great. This is fantastic. Just what I needed for a comeback stream. Hi, Pachi. How's it going? VTube Studio broke. It wasn't connecting to my phone, to my tracking, and now Fugi Tech is breaking too. How's your day been? I just want to come and say stuff and... Yeah, come on. Don't make me go old school, please. Please don't make me have to pull up the old manual Fugi, like, OBS source code. Hold on. I know I've got it on a server somewhere. Yeah, where are you? Where's my, copy paste for the reactive PNG? Where are you? That's the wrong server. It's not an Ares' server. It wasn't that. I need to go back to like my 2020 level server stuff. You a bit tired, feeling better after spanking some light out? How many? I'm feeling much better, thankfully. I just finished up getting better from the ick, from having the ick, and thanks to that, I've been able to, you know, hold on, mute. Nope, that video ain't available anymore. Okay, do we not have the source code? Is it, it's located, I know it's located in another OBS settings page, but I don't know what would happen if I open that up with, everything I've got going on right now. Because that's I'm live, so let's quickly just get me something temporary while I try to test stuff. Actually, I can show off something special I got. I got a new commission finished recently that I'm going to be using in some thumbnails now. Hello, this is what we're sticking with now while I desperately try to fix things. Hi! Hello! And that's what... I got this from the wonderful, where is it? VGen. Yeah, I started using VGen over my vacation and got a few of them back already. These are that's very fast turnover. This is by, Canolini? Yeah, here we go. Canolini on VJ. It's so nice. But, yeah, so while nothing else is breaking, we're just using that as my standard for now. But yeah, I'm gonna be using it for when I start doing I want to get back to doing some karaoke streams, but also want to do some music making streams. Partly because, my friend Phoebe, from VT, what are they calling her? What are they calling their new group? because it's her, Maid Mint, and is it Dansatsu? Phoebe Chan Chibi with Densetsu. Okay. Yeah, but Phoebe is doing a remix contest for her latest single, and I want to do a small like stream like working on a remix for it, because I've got a bit of an idea at some point that I came up with while I was on trip but couldn't really work on, so I'm gonna see if I can get any like actual groundwork on it, if it's just lost cause, and then if it is a thing I can work around, I'm gonna want to do some streams with that. But yeah. Yay! Oh yay, a 7 stream streak, yay! Thank you! Oh, I gotta put things in the right layers. Quick check, are you working now? Oh! Hey! Look who is working, finally! Took so long. Hello. Staying stuck, staring at you in the middle of the night. I threw up. But yeah, this. There we go. Now we're finally working. But yeah, I did a lot over vacation. I kind of just wanted to yap and just talk about some of the stuff, because that was, oh god, that was my first time back to Disney since I think it was before a lot of stuff came. I think it was just when they first put in Avatar Land in Animal Kingdom. For some reason, they decided that, you know, in their theme park about animals, zoos, and like conservation and stuff like that, they put the planet of Pandora from James Cameron's Avatar. Oh right, it is animated. That might have caused it to load in. Hold on. Let me update that. Let's see if this one actually loads faster. Then that is a good theory. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Let's test you. They change you up. Oh yeah, no, that one loaded instantly. It was entirely just because it's got, you know, animated stuff going on. Yeah. I went back to Disney because I normally don't go anymore. We used to go during December or somewhere in like right before August, because that was when my parents would actually have time off. We could go that wasn't in the middle of, you know, school or their work, or they were able to, because my mom and dad used to be like, they retired now. My mom retired last year, but they used to both be work at hospitals or be doctors, so they would be able to try to time our vacations with some CMEs, which are continuing medical education. So they would get paid to go on vacation to. Oh no, what a tragedy! We have to go down to Disney World and have one of the parents distract the kids for a few years while we spend like half the day learning about more medical stuff. But oh no, we get paid to go down there and then spend the rest of the time at these theme parks. Oh no, what a shame. But yeah, that we used to do that more, but now that they're retired, and now that we also sort of fell out of interest with Disney, because for us, we just stopped caring, because we would go, I think we went like 2007, 2012, like 2015, and then 2017 or something. Yeah, like, it was something like we would go every couple of years because a CME lined up with them being paid to go to a Disney hotel for this long, like extra medical training. It's basically work training, but because it's the medical field, they can actually afford to, you know, do it outside of like a single iPad in the back room of a Starbucks. Yeah, it was so nice to have, but I'm so grateful that that's the professions they were able to take up and bring us with. Because I know some of them just would not allow us to go with, or it would have been really unfun for them, like being trapped on a boat with us for some of the cruise ones. But yeah, we would hit Disney like every couple of years because the CME lined up with it, and I understand the Disney magic is a thing for the theme parks. They do have really good theming, really fancy, really fantastic, like, design, everything, but I don't think myself it's worth it going anymore. Because we went during, it's not quite off season, but it's after Thanksgiving. It was not Thanksgiving week, and it's not Christmas week. So it's like the start of December, and there's not really many lines or much of anything like else, like crowding the parks, making it packed and unlivable. And there's also the factor of this was the first, or one of the first weeks for Nikki's very special Christmas, or whatever they call their special Christmas event, which is really interesting, really fun to go around. I can get to that in a sec, but the park wasn't that packed. We had one of the like better like experiences you could have at a Disney park with how expensive and how busy they are nowadays, where with no fast passes, no lightning lane, no Disney Genie, whatever they're calling their new paid for, you gotta get there several days in advance, pay ahead of time, like exorbitant amount of money just to be able to skip the wait. We only ever had to wait like at most an hour for a ride, and that's because the ride broke down. It usually was like 45 minutes, which is crazy because I've seen park lines go up to like, gotta wait 3 hours to go ride Hagrid's motorcycle in Universal, or like you gotta like pay 3 kidneys in order to be able to go to Epic Universe. So like that was one of like being able to hop on, do whatever ride you want. That was great. That was fun. I don't think I care for most of the rides anymore. Like, as I like theme parks. I love theme parks, love learning about the history of them, because as a like actual dedicated place. Flashbang, hi and goodbye at a punk show. Have a good stream. Thanks, stop by, Revy. Have fun at your punk show. Do not trust that dive bar USB. I saw you tweet that picture. That thing looks sketchy as hell. Just in case, because I don't know if you'd be able to make that, I'm gonna quickly send that there. But where was I? I like theme parks. I love like listening to Defunctland, Expedition theme park. A bunch of people talking about like the history of theme parks, like the development, etc., like that. But it stopped. So like I was able to enjoy like going to Magic Kingdom, to Epcot, to like see all the Disney stuff as like educational, like historical thing there. But I don't know. Going to Disney sounds like it used to be fun in the early 2000s. Never got to go there, so I have no idea what it feels like. I think if it's your first time going to like a Disney or Universal level theme park, and it not like your, because there's like basically tiers to like the quality you get for some theme parks. So if you're doing something like Six Flags, which is another like a smaller theme park brand we've got over here in America, that's a much cheaper experience where they're just like, here's a fun ride we painted blue and put Mr. Freeze from Batman on and call it Mr. Freeze's like snow machine or something. Where like you're there for the rides, you're not there because you think it's a fun experience. If you've never been to something on that level, I do think Universal and Disney are really good, like both of those are really good options for like your first time going somewhere. It definitely has changed since the early 2000s because, well, partly because of Disney leadership. Bob Iger leaving to become, Michael Eisner leaving in the late 90s, early 2000s to be replaced by Bob Iger as the new head of Disney. That's an entire fundamental difference in like theme park philosophy and stuff like that for what designs go where, what you need to do to attract an audience, what gives a theme park its magic, especially a Disney park, or like that level of immersion, like interaction, like environment, its appeal. But they've changed that recently and started focusing a lot more on IP stuff, which isn't bad. I won't say no, but the way the initial theme parks were set up in Disney World doesn't really, yeah. You guys don't really have anything there that's anywhere close to Disney level. That's fair. That's fair. I know they're literally like the best, like up there with the Universal, like the best in the industry. So that's not a fair comparison. But if you ever get the chance, or if I need to do what I did to like life threaten to like areas and drag you over to like Disney or Universal too, I will. I'll find my friends and drag them to have a fun time at a theme park if I need to. This is a threat. But it's definitely worth a good experience. The price has gotten insane for Disney compared to anything else, but like it was like, hold on, what's the current Disney price? 1 day pass at Disney World in US dollars directly from disneyworld.disney.go.com. A single day is like at minimum $120 USD a day. But that's date based, and oh boy, that's the bare minimum, and they're gonna change everything up from 128, 123. Some days like 84. So like, oh yeah. Yeah, so like select the number of days. You get a discount for like, you get only $78 a day if you go for 8 days of like, they're very expensive. And that's just to get in. That's not counting for Disney. If you're not staying at a Disney hotel, you get charged for parking. But as fair, Universal does that as well. But like Universal also has like basically free parking in the afternoon, like after like 6 something, because they've got that little concourse or like small like area before their main parks, a city walk, where it's like a small downtown, a mini downtown area in the center of downtown Orlando, where like you get movies, you get merch, you get like some good restaurants, etc. So like they cut themselves down to free parking then too. If you can bite the bullet on the prices, or if you know someone who can help you get discounted prices through a method like Shades of Green or something, which is, I know we usually manage to get some like discounts because of Shades of Green, which is it's a military and veteran like hotel something, or like a small resort like place you can stay down in Orlando, but they've got special connections with like all the attractions in the area. You can get extremely discounted prices for everything. So if you know someone who was in the military at some point, that's a very good way to cut down a lot of prices. Something, but if you can't, you just have to bite the bullet. I can't even afford to get a passport going to distant trip. Never say that. If you ever somehow manage to make it to get a passport and can make plans to come to America, I will take you to Disney or Universal. This is a threat. This is a threat. I will take you to have a good time. This is just like my threat to Ares. And probably a threat to Arthur and Khaled too now. And basically I'm going to be threatening everyone with, if we ever get the chance to, I'm going to get chance to while I'm down in Florida. Because we usually try to go down in Florida to meet up with some family and some friends I've got down there. And I think we're planning that now in October usually, because my sister loves Halloween Horror Nights. She started going, I think year before last, she started going to Halloween Horror Nights as a Universal like big Halloween celebration where they shut the park down at 5, and then they have a bunch, and I mean a bunch, like 10 or 12 haunted houses. Each of them themed around something, like Five Nights at Freddy's, Jason, like the old like Universal monsters, like something like that. They go crazy, like in depth for these. Like Blumhouse gets its own little like square where they throw off their usual stuff. They've got like, it feels basically an entire theater soundstage. So it's not just like a local haunted house where you spend like a 5 minutes walking around. This is like a 10-minute walk through the entire house with jump scares, atmosphere. It's insane. I love it. I'm so upset I couldn't go this year. I couldn't afford to go this year because I had some other stuff I need to pay off at the time. But this year they had stuff like Five Nights at Freddy's, Fallout. In the past they've had The Last of Us. They've had A Quiet Place. A Quiet Place was one of the haunted houses I went to the first time I ever went there, and it was... Have you ever heard... Have you ever been to a haunted house around your area? I don't know what continent you're on, so like I don't know if that's a thing you guys do, because Halloween is kind of I know it's a very America-centric thing. So, and like with some other places like having like less big interest in the holidays. Besides, like, I know Japan like loves to like dress up and like the atmosphere of the thing, but not stuff. But nope. And we've gone to a haunted house. So a lot of times haunted houses are kind of loud, not because of like, oh, they're a scary thing or whatever. It's because like they usually send you in like in small groups at a time, like a small distance between each other, like a tour group when you're touring through a place. So you usually end up hearing like screams or something from further on ahead or something. With how Universal does the haunted house, you're basically going through like a constantly moving line, watching everything. Makeshift haunted mazes and Halloween parties. Kind of, yeah. Like those with like haunted mazes where like people are like jumping out constantly and you hear like people screaming in the distance, stuff like that. Every other haunted house that year we went was full of people screaming, loud noise, yapping, like people enjoying themselves, having fun. We got to the A Quiet Place house. It was dead silent. Like no one was making any noise. The only sound we heard was the haunted house itself, which is crazy. Because it was basically a constantly moving line, one after another after another. Everyone was fully buying into, you make a sound, those monsters are jumping out and getting you. Oh my god, it was insane. I'm so mad I couldn't get to see the fallout of Five Nights at Freddy's house this year, but I'm hoping, because my family's looking at shifting. We used to, because our holiday tradition, vacation tradition was basically always going in the summer, basically since high school. We decided to start shifting that now that my sister and I are out of school for like a long time. We're trying to move that closer to Halloween, so my sister and I can get to Halloween Horror Nights much easier. And that's what a Black Mirror Horror Story. I'm fascinated by that because there's so many ways they could take that. Or would they just do like a general like, ooh, Black Mirror-ish theming, like here's something from this episode, here's something from that, here's something this, or would they take a specific house, a specific episode, and like go through it? The one that had people stay blindfolded. Bird Box? How's that go? Blindfolded haunted house. Oh, right! The one where they give you a 40-page waiver. Yeah, there's one that, yeah. That sounds also really fun, because if it was something like Universal did that, they wouldn't just like blindfold you and leave you that. They would also have stuff where if you took it off, there's themed stuff coming at you and scaring your ass. That was good. But related to like Halloween Horror Nights stuff, I brought up Five Nights at Freddy's as a haunted house thing that was going on this year, because also while I was down there, I went opening day to be one of the problem people that saw Five Nights at Freddy's 2 in the theater. And I have two responses to that. As a fan, I have to like agree. I've been keeping up with this franchise since like 2014, since it came out. I have to admit I'm a fan. As a fan, since 2014, I had a fantastic time. Matthew Lillard is having a time of his life, being Purple Guy, being the killer, being like, every scene he's in, he's chewing the scenery. He's going so hard. It was a delight. As a fan, I had a delightful time. It was fun. As a person who loves movies and cinema as like an art form, a creative endeavor, this was one of the worst things I've ever had the pleasure of seeing. Like, this was terrible. This is one of the worst things ever. Like, there's so much, like, the opening, like, first few scenes trick you into thinking this is gonna be good, because it opens with a bunch of like fantastic like initial like murder of like showing you, oh no, they killed the kids at the haunted restaurant, oh no, and showing you like how the daughter of William Afton, the purple guy, has been like living with the trauma of being, oh no, my dad is a murderer and I've had to help him for years. It's great. You see her confronting herself in like her dreams and the horror stuff like that. And then it keeps going. And the plot starts loudly and aggressively going nowhere. Do you care for spoilers or like do you care for spoilers? 'Cause I'm like, you think that's all that matters? That's fun. That I think because I'm ready to go off on this film that I love and I'm absolutely happy I watched that like first the live that. Yeah, I don't care for spoilers. Okay, so the setup for the film is that after the first film, people are like, oh yeah, haha, that old place went down, and like one of the characters from the first film started to tell of like, oh no, the place is haunted, oh no, it's blah blah, like basically spreading the word. And then since it's a small town and nothing fucking happens in the small town, everyone jumps on that idea of we've got a haunted like murder restaurant. Hell yeah, let's set up like a big festival, like a big fair, like it's like close to like autumn. We could tie that into like our like fall festival, Halloween thing. Hell yeah, let's celebrate Faz Fest. So they built that up as a whole big thing where everyone in town is basically getting excited for Faz Fest, except for this one crabby old science teacher who is the worst person alive, who I think, hold on, FNAF 2 movie IMDb. Who was playing the teacher in FNAF 2? Because it was Wayne Knight. It was, you know him as like Nedry, the nerdy science guy from the first Jurassic Park, who like shut down everything and made everyone get like caught. He's like Newman from Seinfeld. He's like that, like general like that sort of guy, you know. He's Ned on Amphibia, really? He's the Penguin in Harley Quinn too. Huh? He's still doing a lot of stuff. I guess I never really thought about that. Yeah. No, he's still doing a lot. Damn. You have no idea. Wayne Knight. Have you ever seen? Have you ever seen Jurassic Park or something? Yeah, it's okay. Keep going. Yeah. Sorry. I'm going off. I'm losing the plot. Yeah, he's the science teacher for the main character, Mike's sister, and he's all about we gotta win like the 10-year streak of our big robotics fair or something, or the science fair. And then immediately he walks up and says, oh yes, little girl, who like seems very interested and very passionate about this thing, but also kind of sucks at it because nothing she builds seems to be working. Why don't you do anything else? Why don't you quit? You know, don't worry, I'll give you an A, I'll give you 100%, and you just don't show up to the science fair. We don't want you there. And just constantly being like, nothing you build is fine. Like, don't worry. Well, it's fine. It's like, we gotta protect the streak. We gotta protect the reputation. Poor girl. Oh, it gets so much worse. But he also ends up going. So where am I going? That's the setup for what's going on at school for her. So she comes back. Goes like, hey. What about my ghost friends I made who like haunt animatronics in the first game? Because they possess robots, they should be able to help me. So she runs off to go find out, like back to the first haunted pizzeria, only to find they're all broken and gone. Who knows what happened with them? Well, we don't know what to do there, so guess she's sad and guess she's alone, but she gets to take one thing as a special like memento of her time with her friends. And she picks this like old speaking spell, if you know what that is, which is an old toy that would like you would type stuff into it and it would like say things out in a robotic voice like hello, we are here, hello, like etc. Like you type stuff in, it says stuff, but it's like Freddy Fazbear themed. So she takes that and like goes being sad anywhere else. Meanwhile, she actually became friends with the ghost children. Oh, that was a whole thing in the first film. Right, because you said you don't know FNAF, so you need someone to tell you what happens in the movies, because it's... The first film was also bad, but it was a different kind of bad. Like, it wasn't like the worst thing I've ever seen written. It was just like dumb B film stuff like that, like a low tier B film. In the first FNAF, as Mike has to get a night job as a security guard at this one place, he ends up having to take his sister to the haunted restaurant a few times because no one can babysit her because they live alone and he's desperately trying to maintain custody. When that happens, at some point, the ghost children possessing the animatronics see her and it's like, hey, why don't we be friends? And they like start befriending each other somehow. Seemingly with the initial implication of, oh yeah, we're gonna add her to our ghost friend collection and like have her be a... trying to remember, have her like join them in like a new animatronic suit or something or whatever. I know a little bit of FNAF because I helped a project to a friend that needed me to do 2 lines of cheek for the... Was that Laika's big FNAF? Was that Laika's big FNAF cover album she did last year? Was that last year? Yeah. Yeah, because I remember Arthur and Ares also threw something in for that. But the motor robots end up like being treated like, oh, they're just ghost kids who have stuck in the robots, so they're able to be befriended by another kid. There's some slight intrigue of like, oh, do they want to actually add her to their robot ghost collection, or are they just being friendly? That kind of gets resolved, kind of not, in the first film, but either way, the first film ends with Matthew Lillard getting caught in the suit and dying, like he does. And then the robots sort of just like disappear because they killed their killer and stuff. But since her friends are gone and her robot friends are gone, she just sits there like occasionally talking to her like Faz Talker, I think they called it, her like Fazbear speaking spell. Meanwhile, we get a random cutaway to a bunch of ghost hunters. Like straight up like YouTube like ghost hunter, we're BuzzFeed Unsolved and we're gonna find some ghosts. With the big little beep 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 bop bop bop. I thought the animatronics just killed anyone and I didn't know they were friendly children. That's sort of a small detail that doesn't really get brought up often. It's sort of mentioned in, I think, the second game mostly, which I guess that fits. Where like the animatronics don't like adults because an adult guy was the one that killed them. But they're kids as well, and they don't think the kids would do that. Or like they're friendly with something. It's sort of like a small detail there. It doesn't really get brought up very often because most of the time you play as an adult, like in the restaurant trying to do your own thing. But yeah, we randomly cut to a bunch of YouTube/TV like ghost hunters, just randomly walking into like, we got a contact who told us about Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Not the one for the first one, the original. Don't you know? It's special. So they get sent in, like get to say hi to the evilest looking like guy you could possibly, like evilest, sweatiest looking guy imaginable. Hold on, let me pull him. They pull him up. This is like, he somehow has got like cartoonish level of like slime and evilness with just his smile. Where are you? Where are you? Give me the... This guy! This motherfucker! He looks so evil! Look at this! Look at this! It's so funny. He's so good. He's great. He's there. Tragically, he's there for like 2 minutes. He gets 2 minutes of screen time at the start, middle of the film, and at the very end. He has nothing to do. But oh my god, he's so cartoonishly evil. I love him. But he walks in, it's like, hi, I'm Michael. Why don't I show you around Freddy Fazbear's? With this like constant evil smile, walking around like, don't worry around. the animatronics they've been shut down for years, but don't worry, the animatronics get a little quirky at night. So like as they all split up to go find their own like little animatronics and then slowly get like cut off by their own. Oh, what was the name? You caught that, did you? Evil slimy boy man here. This is supposed to be Michael Afton, the player character, or like the main the main protagonist of the game continuity of the story. They turned him into this evil evil slimy looking motherfucker, and I love it. It's so dumb. Because also, to clarify, the first film was written by Scott and another like screenwriter who had written actual other stuff. The second film was only written by Scott Cawthon. No one was there to rein him in or tell him how to like structure a film to make it, you know, workable, audible, like presentable in any way, shape, or form. That's the brother who caused the first fight. That's the man who got his kid brother like killed in animatronic. Except he's evil. And he's also the sister of Vanessa, the police girl from the first film. Which, with all the background details they've been showing, it doesn't look like this guy watched one of his family members get chomped by a robot. So, I don't know what they're doing in this continuity. So, like, apparently in the movies, like, they didn't have a kid brother who, like, got lost. That sort of got put onto Mike, the, protagonist guy who had the younger brother who died under his watch. And so he's just so Michael Afton's just allowed to be the evil older brother man having a great old time. While, like, still working and, like, killing for his dad. Yeah. As all the people slowly split off and get, like, got by individual, you know, like, animatronics, because one person goes down this small riverboat ride they've gotten in an indoor, like, Chuck E. Cheese style place, somehow. Case of Susan Child Staff has never been known for keeping good continuity. Don't I know that? I've tragically been following this for over a decade, and I know how bad it is. But at the very least, we know the movies aren't movies are doing their own thing, like fully doing their own thing, separate. Like not affecting the games in the slightest. But so one guy goes down this indoor boat ride, and like he's like, okay, that's cool, that's neat. He accidentally trips and gets jump scared and falls into the water. And this like little, how do I describe this? Pachi, do you know the like GIF Spine occasionally throws up where like, we are the Spinelings, free us, in like a couple of Discord servers, something like that, with like small recolored versions of a Spine Breaker, just like bouncing up and down like that, like little plush models. For some reason, the boat... Nah, you never saw that GIF. Let me... because I know it's based on something else, but just like... Let me see if there... It isn't, yeah, is it like Toy Story with little aliens grabbing the machine? Kind of. It's basically, you see a bunch of tiny little, like, toy, like literal, like, playing toys and, like, plushies of the puppet, just, like, sitting in the water, staring up at him ominously, and then just jumping him and dragging him down under the water. Like, that was a solid kill there. Another person finds out, oh no, the guy who looks absolutely evil and slimy is actually evil and lets him get got by Mangle. The funny, like, torn apart, like, little foxy. Gets got there. But the interesting, I say interesting with a very big asterisk, part about that is the third person who's like the face of their camera, of their little ghost hunting organization, who goes downstairs and finds the puppet. The puppet who had a music box that keeping her to sleep, that she stops. She stops the music box, thinking that was just a like little thing that something got left behind. And then in like a giant ominous like human-sized like toy present opens up and she gets got by the puppet, but she doesn't die. Puppet is the long one with a mask. Yes. Puppet is this one. This thing. This is ooh. There's so much going on with this one I could go on about. But yeah. The puppet doesn't kill her. The puppet possesses this lady. Yeah, haunted by the daughter of an ex-friend of William. Yeah. It's haunted by by a daughter who we see this girl get killed like as the very opening of the film. So it's very well set up of like this girl dies, then literally falls into the arms of the puppet as she dies to clearly get possessed, to clearly possess it. But apparently now the puppet can just possess people, and they get like freaky like white makeup and like big evil eyes and grins, stuff like that, like classic possession stuff. And then they start doing stuff like out of the poltergeist and stuff. It's really creepy and crazy because you see her just like constantly like jumping up behind you, holding people down, like getting people in chokeholds, stuff like, "Hey friend, how have you been?" And they just chew the scenery, not taking this place seriously or deadly in the slightest. It's hilarious. I love that bit. And then they just get let out, then because of events, they get let out. Well, actually, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. Puppet is using other people as puppets. Yes, because that's the way the puppet was like supposedly used in this category, where the puppet would lead the other animatronics in like a show. So the puppet can control all the other animatronics at once. Oh no, with this one getting out, all the other toy animatronics can break out and start getting you. Ooh. But as well, it also means that a different girl could be puppeted and tricked, and we go right back to the little girl, the sister. I forget her name. Hold on. Abby. Yeah, Abby. That's it. She get her little like speaking spell. Oh no! It starts talking to her, saying, "Hey, friend, why don't you come down to the FNAF 2 building? And like, we can help you out. We can be friends. We miss you, Abby." So she does. And she brings her little like science fair project that the evil science teacher doesn't like. And somehow, for reasons I don't fully get, the puppet and like possessing like puppet pretending to like manipulate Toy Chica can somehow help Abby with an entire robotics course to fix that up and make it work like as an actual toy thing. Yes, Abby is the girl that befriended the ghost children. Yes, that's correct. But somehow, through the helping of a ghost and a robot that the ghost is puppeting, they can make like a functional little like robot mini animatronic toy. I don't know how that works, but we're just gonna go with it. Sure, why not? So she takes that back all the way to the science fair that next day. Very proud of it, very happy she made it with her ghost friends. And this is where the science teacher gets even eviler. We already don't like the science teacher, man, right? He already tried to tell Abby, the little girl, off and just like, "You shouldn't come Saturday." Just like, "We'll give you the A. We gotta maintain our streak. Yeah." He sees Abby there looking for a spot to set up her own toy, like her own animatronic, her robotics she worked really hard on. But he's like, "Are you sure you want to be here?" We didn't have to. He's like, no, she really wants me here. She's very insistent. Okay. Oh, let me just like pick this up, like check that. Oh, whoops! Butterfingers! I dropped it and shattered it all across the field, destroying all that little girl's hard work. And he's like, you know what? I'll give you an A. It's my fault it happened. So, naturally, can I punch that teacher? Oh, don't worry. He gets what's coming to him. Naturally, she's sad. She's upset about this. That was her hard work. That was her hard friend's work. She had trouble getting that together, but then she finally got it with the help of a ghost friend she thought was gone. She runs away. She leaves. She runs back to the pizzeria. Into the robot arms of the puppet Chica. He's like, what's wrong? My science teacher broke up the work we just did last night. What a meanie. Hey, you know what would be fun? Let me, the robot animatronic, be your science fair project. And she says yes. She does walk up and say, hey, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do that. So after a small bit of like tension, just actually getting some security system down so the robots can actually leave, she leaves with Toy Chica. But now all the other robots can leave as well. Ha 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 ha. Importantly though, before we get to any of this stuff, I know this is what you're dying to hear. They get back to the science fair and show off like, hey, Mr. Berg, Mr. Science Teacher Man, look, I'm back with a backup project. Points to a giant actual animatronic. And you know what he says? Right to her face and in front of everybody. How dare you have a friend put on a suit, like, and pretend to dishonor and like disrespect this institution? Get out of here, you're getting a 0. So, Abby being upset about that, little girl being upset about that, Chica's like, oh boy, why don't I go talk with him? I just want to get a look inside his head and stuff like that. So cut away to like an ambiguous time later, because the timeline in this entire film is fucked. Yeah, like the entire timeline in like what's going on when does not work out in the slightest. Because there's like a science fair at the start of the day, but it's also there like at night as the Faz Fest is going on, but it also doesn't look like anything happened. And also they were able to run all the way to a restaurant and back on foot, etc. and back, and with no real notable time passing. And like the timeline like the actual progression of time does not work in this film. But so Chica's busy like following the science teacher man as he like slowly gets like small jump scared by like, oh, small kids hanging around, like gets jump scared by the like janitor walking by, etc. And then he notices like a dark figure standing in a window. He tries to peek in. Chica bursts through the window, smashes through the window of a door, grabs him by the shirt collar and yanks him through and throws him onto the ground, onto a bunch of broken glass. Great start. He deserves worse. So like as he's slowly crawling away, desperately trying to like figure out what's going on, like Chica stomp, slowly getting closer, slowly coming after him. He's like, oh, what do you want? I'll give her an A, I'll give her 100, I'll give her 200, I'll give her like, no. Oh, what do I want? She says as she picks him up by the head. I want to know what's going on inside your head. Squeeze. 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 Crack. Oh, that was so satisfying watching him die. Okay, Twitch ads are gonna be starting in a sec, so I'm gonna quickly let those go on. Because I already down like another, like, giant mug full of tea, and I'm gonna need to pee in a sec, so I'll be back in a sec while those are going on. Talk to y'all in a sec, dude. Ah, we're back. We're free from the ads. And honestly, with the death of the science teacher, I think that's where the film peaked. Because, oh boy, the film kind of goes downhill from there. It's kind of gets somehow even more of a mess. So, setup. Mike, not Michael, Mike, the Abby's older brother, the protagonist of the film, has to go run into the FNAF 2 building, and because of reasons, he splits up with cop lady Vanessa. Vanessa runs out to go chase down the animatronics who have escaped. Meanwhile, Mike has to stay inside the building and try to shut them down from inside. This leads to a really neat segment where he's basically playing FNAF 2. Where it's like he's in the office building, he's got the flashlight, he's wearing the mask, etc. So like small neat segment there. There's even like a small cameo from Shadow Bonnie or X-Cube, or whatever the fuck they called his long-ass code name. But then, as we get to that, wait, how long is it? Okay, we still got time on the music, good. As they're doing that, you see, oh boy, Toy Freddy is at the Faz Fest, you know, the big collection of a bunch of free people who really want to, like, you know, like, really interested in Freddy's and things like, oh, they're after, like, what's the killer robot gonna do in a big, crowded festival? Nothing. They do nothing with it. They use it for a joke where he's gonna win the costume contest. That's what I'm saying, what? That's such a waste. They had so much setup, so much build-up for, like, something's gonna happen at the Faz Fest and nothing happens. What we get is in two people's houses. The adults that the child who got killed in order to become the puppet, the adults that were present and didn't listen when she was dying, she's going out to get revenge on them. Okay, revenge on adults, fine, that makes sense, but no. See. This isn't those animatronics. This isn't. Sorry, let me make clear. The toy animatronics. All the animatronics in this film are not children possessed. Like, there's not, like, for the first film, there's only one child possessing all of them, because it's the puppet, and the puppet can control all the animatronics. So, the puppet is the only thing they're sending everyone after. The adults that didn't listen when she was dying. So she's going after parents, trying to kill them. They're fucking somehow, like, breaking in through, like... What was it? Okay, yeah, this is all the puppet's doing. So Freddy sneaks in through someone's garage, lifting up the door, which I don't know anyone's garage that doesn't sound like an entire industrial moving equipment whenever it moves. So I don't know how that's able to do that silently, but somehow that works. Then, as it, like, sneaks around, goes in, like, it just starts, like, teleporting around like they usually do in the games, basically. It's like, hello, I'm behind your fridge. I see you. Someone screams, ah, what do you want with us? I'm here to kill you because you didn't listen. That's what Toy Freddy's doing. Toy Bonnie talks a small girl. Toy Bonnie, the rabbit, is voiced by Matt Pat. That's something that threw me off for a sec when I first heard him. Like, they're like, hi friends, this is just a theory. I need to kill you. A game theory. And Toy Chica, who gets the most lines of, like, all the robots, by the way, is voiced by Megan Fox. You know, very famous actress Megan Fox. I don't know what's going on with the series anymore. Yeah, Megan Fox. Yeah. And it's Toy Chica and Toy Bonnie are both going after the adults that didn't listen. So it's like, Toy Bonnie talks the child into, I'm your friend, why don't you let me in through the window? And I'll go talk to your mom so we can be friends. And then he grabs an ice pick and starts going for the throat. But that leaves one animatronic missing. Well, a couple more, but Mike has to do, like, has to play FNAF 2 with all the old withered animatronics, so the only one left unaccounted is Mangle. And Mangle is somehow on top of a police car, like, bashing in the sides, trying to go like go for anything. Freddy just Freddy just went to have fun. No, so Freddy is going to do the killing. Chica's the one Chica's signed avenging too. So like, Freddy went to go kill. Freddy just like made a detour to go see the funny festival going on before going off to go like, oh boy, here I go killing again. But oh god, I try to phrase what comes up next. Yeah. Mangle's on top of the police car with Vanessa in it, so he starts bashing around, like, getting her to an actual accident that really should leave her concussed and, like, otherwise physically hurt, but she somehow, like, manages to escape that and, like, get pulled up, like, escape the robot that's crashed her car and trying to, like, get at her, somehow. I don't really get that. She somehow, like, restarts her crashed car, drives out, and then, like... And this is what happens in the film. She drives directly towards the house Freddy's in with a damaged, broken up car, hits the brakes, and sends Mangle flying through the front window into Freddy, sending them both into a pile. Like barely missing the people Freddy's trying to kill. It's a straight up cartoon moment. And then Mike manages to, right as Foxy's coming down to try to kill him, turn off all the animatronics so they stop working. Hooray! They survive. But wait, one more. There's one more still active without this Wi-Fi signal, and that's Chica. What's that? The puppet's inside Chica, controlling her the entire time. Oh no, we gotta get back to the house. They get back to the house. Oh no, the puppet's not there and Chica's offline. What happened? Oh no! The puppet possessed Abby! Puppet possessed the little girl! And now she's coming after, like, both of you. Both of them ready to go. But then... Surprise! Mike arrives with a music box to go, like, shut it up. Because there was a really, like, I forgot this bit at the time, but there was a nice little scene where you see Henry, the guy, William's business partner, the father of the girl who died to become the puppet. You see him, like, talking about, like, sometimes you're trying to do someone, like do something well, and then you don't even notice the devil right next to you, etc. Like, doing his usual stupidly hard lines for a kid's game and kid's product, etc. Then, so, like, he gives a music box at the time, gives a bunch of setup for, like, the next film, etc., and just, like, keeps being, like, somehow the best character Scott's ever writes. But yeah, so the puppet gets scared out of the girl by the music box, and then, after scaring out the puppet, Mike just closes the music box. He stops it playing. The puppet's gone. He doesn't need it anymore, despite it still being in the house. And then, as all scrambling together to try to leave, do you know who shows up? Do you know who shows up? That's right. That's right. It's him. Evil Smile Slimy Man. Michael Afton arrives to meet Mike Schmidt and his sister Vanessa. And oh look, because he's an Afton, he can just somehow command the animatronics to follow him and obey his orders. Somehow. That's not really brought up or mentioned. It just happens. Because he's surrounded by Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Mangle, Toy Chica. They're just there, ready to go, like, hey, come on, sister. Yeah, no, this ending is so fucking stupid. Hello, sister. Come on, don't you know, we'll never be free of our father's control. Why don't you just come back to the fold? Yes, he's dead, but who cares? So, he comes, He comes back, says, you know, like, well, you don't want to join, fine. And then, the stupidest part happens. The stupidest part of this entire film happens. Yes, they technically set it up. Yes, they technically set it up because there is a scene where Mike Schmidt goes off to go say, does he try not to get murdered by the animatronics so he can control them? No, so this is part of the problem. There's Mike and there's Michael. Mike Schmidt, protagonist boy. Hey, in case I'd be looking here, enjoy your day, don't die of sick, you twat. Don't worry, I'm no longer sick. That was just me when I was typing up the title. Thanks, stuff my blurry. So this is protagonist boy was the one playing for etc. Evil villain Michael could somehow control the robots. But they technically set this up in a way where Mike Schmidt, protagonist boy, goes off to go say, please, my sister's in trouble to the first Freddy's. It was like, I know, ghost friends, you probably gone. We set your souls free, but my sister needs your help. And then immediately we go back to, like, then like we actually get the whole ending bit of like they scare away the puppet. Then suddenly Michael comes in with his squad of like evil animatronics. And then they do the dumbest fucking thing alive. As every single animatronic is bearing down on the main three protagonists. Guess what, baby? We are FNAF! You see Freddy show up, original Ghost Boy Freddy Fazbear, show up and start beating up the toy Freddy. You see old Bonnie, Ghost Boy Bonnie, come in and start fighting Bonnie. You see Ghost Boy Foxy yanking Mangle out a window and start kicking her ass. And then you see Ghost Girl Chica getting one-liners as she beats up robot Chica Megan Fox. Out of the blue, that just happens. It's so stupid. It doesn't make any fucking sense. There's like one scene of setup and nothing else. It's just animatronic MMA, which, as a concept, it's hilarious. It's so funny. I love that as a thought for, let's just have these robots beat the shit out of each other. It's great. I have a fantastic time. It makes no fucking sense in the setup, in the pacing, in the structure of this film, in any single way, shape, or form. It's so bad. And then, as the robots are getting beat up, Michael Afton, evil boy, runs outside to go, like, you know, be evil another day. And then there's a nameless side character who does have a name, but isn't really, like, he appears in 3 scenes and that's it, and just exists to, like, be a convenient plot point. Just, like, fucking clothesline him all of a sudden. Like, where the fuck you think you're going? And then that's the last we see of him. And then, as they're all rushing out to leave, shock, horror, oh no, the police girl who has been traumatized by being a daughter of a killer and like desperately trying to do that is like, I think the ghost kids saved their life, friend. Yes, ghost kids saved their life, friend. And then basically just said, well, that's it. That's our last appearance of the film. We can't do this for you anymore. As soon as we're gone, guess who's coming back? You're getting Springtrap next film. Oh no, what a shame. They basically say that straight to the camera, saying, congratulations. Congratulations, next film is Springtrap. And then they disappear. Along with the animatronics, they straight up manifested their, like, animatronic selves alongside their ghost kid selves, like their fucking stands, and beat up the fucking robots. And then just noped out of there. Wait, what? Yeah. After they save the protagonists, the ghost kids are like, listen, we can't do this anymore. We have to pass on. Doing this took all of our energy. And just so you know, by doing this, we can't hold him back anymore. And then they just gone. They just nope out. So as they're trying to leave, oh no, some petty drama that's slightly been like in the background goes like, police girl, You're the daughter of a killer and you keep lying to us. I can't trust you anymore. Stay away from my family. That happens. Then. Yeah, the one they were holding back was William. They were holding back purple guy, the killer. Yeah. Because they got him in the end. At the end of the last film, they dragged him away into the back as the building was slightly collapsing. So they fade away. They have a soul drama of like, oh, police girl, I know you've been traumatized and had a bunch of stuff like that, but you keep lying to us and putting our family in danger. Stay away. And guess what? As she's left at the door of the house, shocked that, like, the closest thing she had to, like, friends and family that weren't killers leave her behind. Do you know who else is there? Do you remember who else is in the house? The last scene of the film is her getting possessed by the fucking puppet. But, I will say, there was an end credit scene that was really good. A really good end credit scene. You see 3 people breaking into another Fazbear's. Ronnie's like, come on guys, we gotta set it up. We gotta grab whatever merch you can. They're gonna tear this place down tomorrow. They start looting the place, stuff like that. Hey guys, I think I found one. A real one in the back. They run over, blah, 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 blah. They run to the back. Oh no. Oh wow, he's huge. Oh, he stinks. It's great. And they see Springtrap, Matthew Lillard, purple guy, his, like, robotic self. Because guess what, baby? We're getting FNAF 3! We're getting the haunted house next film! God, that was... I can't even be mad about that one. That is the best way they could have ended that film to set it up. It's so stupid and dumb, but it works. Because that's quite literally how FNAF 3 happened. Someone just broke in and started stealing shit. And then they found a dead body in a robot suit. I can't even be mad. That was a great setup. Yep, now we have you're pressing Springtrap. And I swear, I need them to just go full, like, let him eat as much scenery as he can next film. Like, it's such a dumb, silly setup, and I need it to happen. Let him be the evilest, crazy motherfucker alive. But yeah, that film fucking sucked. It was great. People need to see it. Like, one of the worst pieces of film I've ever seen. Absolute cinematic experience, if that makes sense. This, like, contrasting back and forth. I guess creators trying to tie him. No, that's not that. It's not even trying to tie the old games lore together. It's the first film covered basically events from the first game. The second film covered events basically from the second game. And now they're doing FNAF 3. They're tying everything up and just like all the events from this, like 3 again. It's less like tie lore together. It's like that's sort of how everything's been built up from the beginning, basically. It's always just been seemingly built up to be like like the first 3 maybe. I think it's set up to be a threequel right now. Yeah, basically, if that helps you understand better. But yeah, terrible time. Absolute worst movie I've ever seen. I loved every second of it because everyone was treating it like it's like fucking. Everyone in the theater was a bunch of like FNAF kids and teens and adults treating it like it's the greatest bit of cinema they've ever seen, and then immediately left is like, wow, that was fucking terrible. We need to go again. That was the set. Besides Disney, that was basically what I did all, vacation. I remember seeing something like the author originally abandoned the original canon. I don't think that, unless I missed something like that. I think like the first original game's canon still exists. They're just telling it. So the first 6 games FNAF 1, 2, 3, 4, Sister Location, and Ultimate and Pizzeria Simulator. Those 6 are like one big story arc. They're like one big saga. They're like a big singular story. And then the games after that, with like a VR, security breach, etc. That's its own separate story telling a different thing. They tie together, but they're not the same story being told. It's a different cast of characters affected by different events. Okay, that's what people meant with him. Yeah. To be fair, they kind of needed to, because like that original story's kind of been fleshed out and done. Like they're adding a bit more like side content, like miscellaneous content to like what happened beforehand, what happened like before the murders, etc., stuff like that, to like flesh out. Oh wow, Purple Guy really was a big piece of shit. But like the first 6 do work as their own standalone stories, so they don't really need to work anymore from that. But that was what I did. Disney had a fun time. Right. A lot of plot holes too. Yeah, kind of, basically, pretty much. Because you could tell, despite what some people try to say, that was absolutely not all written as like one big grand plan from the start. It's being written. If it's like any other creative endeavor, it's written as it goes and as things develop on their own. So he was making it as it happened, and then as things needed to be like clarified and etc. He will like clarify in the next games. The work diary helps solve many plot holes. Yeah. He doesn't explicitly come out and just like tell you, no, this is how X happens that very often. So the books the work diaries he did put out really did help like clarify a lot of things. And then also cause other problems for like other mysteries, because some of them were like the puzzle book where you could do, but oh no, you can find this one child's name if you solve it, but no one knows how to solve it. Oh no, what a weird thing. It's a lot. Yeah, bunch of contradicting stuff. Bunch of just everything going on. And then you hear stuff like with Security Breach, the first big 3D like open world story that he was trying to, you know, make everything clear and specified, like a brand new story for their brand new universe. He did not tell the dev team. He did not tell the dev team, because it wasn't just him working that time. That was Steel Wool Studios. He did not tell the dev team what the story of the thing was. He gave them hints and clues and bits and pieces, and he didn't, you know, he didn't say anything. And that's how we got confusing stuff like Robot Springtrap at the end in a fully animated cutscene, just like walking around, moving, and being evil with the whole side minigame thing going on. It's a dumb, confusing, like, contradictory, silly franchise, but I can't help but keep following it because this was one hell of a, like, last, like, rags to riches story from, like, FNAF 1 was gonna be Scott's last game because he kept having bad luck with it, and then somehow it blew up, it got popular, everything started happening and going well for him. And now it's become this big event, this big thing. And I can't help but just keep respecting it and following it despite that. I think I saw a guy who solved the crying name too. Is it the one where his name was like Evan or something? Because I know that was a whole like plot bit there where he tried to, he made the name and stuff like that, and then he had to put the name in a mirror to be able to see it properly. Yeah. Yeah, if you not... No, it's the one who got Dave. Okay. Yeah, Evan and Dave seem to be the two ones, because EVA were the, like, 3 letters everyone could agree on, but the last one is the one that always got confusing. So, still. It is. It is. It is what it is. It's a lot of fun still. But I think... Howdy, Case. How you been? How's your marriage with Blurry? Sadly, I filed for a divorce. Blurry, thanks stopping by, Park, but sadly, I filed for a divorce. He kept not respecting me in the workplace in LobCorp and disregarding my restrictions to, you know, pay attention, be patient, and read. Read, Blurry, read. People were getting evad, which didn't make sense, but they noticed the peer hasn't. Right, it was evad, but they had to be. Yeah. Are you doing okay? Heard you were sick. I was sick when at the start of the week, at Sunday, Monday, I was sick. So I didn't know if I'd be able to stream this week because it was like a bad cold, like something with my throat, constant coughing. But thankfully I was able to get much better. And yeah, I've been doing pretty good. Just yapping right now because I got back from vacation right now. We were talking about the oh yeah, did you send your voice with the command of you yelling at Blurry? I have not, because Blurry has not told me what he wants me to yell for him. He could have done that because I already had to record something else for him today, but he did not in any way, you know, say what he wanted me to record. So I think just keep nagging Blurry again to get back on it, or like to tell me what he wants me to record already. Like, come on. I'm here. I already yelled my voice out for this separate thing he wants. Oh, Blurry said that the chat had to tell you what we want. I can't. I told him we forgot. Yeah, okay, so you two know what's going on. Like, because he was trying to do... He said, like, chat was coming up with something, but he didn't know what it was, and then he never got back to me on it, and we started talking about other stuff at the time. So, what is it you want me to yell for Blurry? So you, like, yell at him. Because we've got read, Blurry, read. We've got something calling him old. What is it? We've got, I don't know actually what other stuff we've got him yelling at him. Besides like the blue. So, what do you need from me? I don't know, I'm not part of the bullies in chat. And we appreciate that. I'm sure Blurry especially appreciates that, with you being the kind, like, warm bit of light in this chat before everyone else goes back to bullying him, including me, because I was there. You did make him an audio of Tamagotchi time, though. Ooh. I told him what it was, but it seems you forgot. Just yell Blurry's name like a friend doing a huge mistake and you being angry about it. What? Something like a Blurry! Or something like that. Ow! Okay, I don't think my throat fully recovered from that. From fully being sick yet, because that one, like, shout, ooh, that, I felt that one. Ugh. I will make a timestamp of that. Thanks. I'll see if I can just rip that one. Hold on, where's my... There we go, I've got my local timestamp there. Is that okay? It's a bit of work, just because when I was sick, it was basically persistent, like lots of coughing, like all the time. Chills, like sneezing, stuff like that. But it's mostly better. I might... Since I'm feeling it a bit more now, I might call it in a little bit then, just to give my voice time to rest. Because we've got... Oh, thank you for the hydrate. Oh, wait, that drink's out. Hold on, wait, where's my drink? That one's empty. I've got a backup water somewhere. Hold on. Okay, back. I am back. I recommend some herbal tea from the ancient Eastern secrets of Tibetan monks. I actually was just drinking tea, but my giant mug of... I don't know if this is a mug or whatever. What the fuck do you call this? Something like... Because this is too big to be a mug. Hold on. I don't know. I'll say that, like, my giant goblet, I guess, of tea. That's not what that is either. I don't... I had a giant thing of tea that I was drinking the entire stream, and it just ran out right as I was supposed to do that, but still. But I do like the tea. I have been trying to get more into it, because if I'm going to be recording more covers and like other stuff on the projects, which I'm supposed to be doing, but I've just not been, because I've been having a bad, like, executive dysfunction about that. Yeah, there's a vocal exercise to help with soothe throat. I probably will just get some, like, cough drops, some more water and stuff like that, and just, like, relax a bit, but I think I might start calling with calling streaming, like, a little bit then, because I'm feeling a little bit, getting a little bit tender then, especially after the, you know, just, like, after a long stream like this, and after that, like, long yell. I think it's supposed to be, like, a... Oh, you talk about, like, doing, like, the, like, horse lips, the sort of thing. Do you make music? Yes, I do. If you check my channel, I've got a few songs I've done there, but there's also a separate playlist on my channel of just music that I've made for both myself and for other people, like with Leica, like for my friend Lore, 2 remixes I did for Mori Calliope, etc. And they're the same sound with the tongue instead of like, oh, like the rolling the noise stuff, like a, yeah, that sort of thing. Like, I know some people who can't do that. Yeah, it's like rolling your tongue, which feels weird to me, but I am also like Hispanic, and that's kind of like a thing. Just like, even though I don't speak Spanish, that's just sort of a thing that like is in a lot of the language, I remember. So like, it's just something I've just always known how to do. Without touching this song, for goodness sake. Do you make music? You should do a song called Blurry You Should Read. Make it LobCorp thing of Blurry from, like, because it doesn't read. If I could write lyrics, that's the main problem. I can play music, I can, like, write it, I can play several instruments. I cannot write lyrics to save my life. If someone else could do that for me, I can absolutely make something for them, but just not on my own. It's exercise to relax the muscles, not tension them. That's fair, Pachi. I apologize for messing that up. Is that Pachi from Pachiquinos, from Pachidanos, from Pachivinos, from the Pachiminos? Yep, that is. That is, in fact, the Pachibirita. Sorry, Pachibitalia. So, Pachi B Italia. I always just call you Pachi. I never actually realized I don't know how to say, like, your full name. Pachi B Italia? Is it like Pachi B, Pachi space B, Pachi space Italia, like Italy or something? Or, I'm still just gonna call you Pachi, but now I'm just like, I'm realizing I have to think about that. Do you know that? Yes, I know Italia. Yes, I remember those days. Wait, you're Hispanic? Then you know El Chavo del Ocho and El Chapulín Colorado? Italia. Okay. Oh. Okay, so that's how you say it. Question then, Pachi. If you watched Italia and you were of that time frame, which was your country? I need to, this is, I have not seen it in years. I barely remember anything about it, but I do need to know which country you liked the most. This is important. But no, Park, I don't think I know El Chavo del Ocho and Chapulín Colorado. Chibitali. Oh, you used to cosplay Chibitalia. Okay, that makes sense. Then, let's see. It was the, yeah, that one. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I can't fault that. It's there in the name, and I just didn't even think about that. You said just take away the pot, and you just got Chibitalia there, and I just did not click. I've been too far gone and too cured from the time of Italia, and like back the old days of like was it Oran High School, Hitalia, Haruhi Suzumiya, like those like 2000s anime times before the current modern age of shonen. Slop controlling everything. Pachi is Italian? No wonder her name rhymes a lot. I don't think Pachi is I don't think? Question mark? I don't know where Pachi is from, but I know Pachi's name like takes from Italian as their username, so yeah. I think I'm feeling my throat start to give in, but like hour 45 for just like half Brazilian, half Portuguese, half that's a well, no, I guess should be surprised about the Portuguese. Yeah, Portuguese is like the main language in Brazil, so I shouldn't be surprised at that. Italian there though, but that's interesting collection. I feel like I shouldn't be as surprised of it as like theirs, but I also like I don't really think about people's nationalities too much when they're friends. They're just you are, unless it's like blatant like where Park's name is blatantly Korean, so I have to be reminded that you're friend shaped. Your friend shape, your friend height, your friend language, your friend age. I don't think about or remember that too much. Yeah. Because the only reason I remember where like Aries is like Aries and Blurry are Australian is because they're kind of aggressively Australian. So like it's kind of like that fact sticks around a bit more than just like other people who are just like, oh yeah, that's where you're parting from. Like sometimes like I know Arthur's Canadian intellectually, and then sometimes it just slips my mind. I'm just like, I don't remember it until I have to actively think about it. Yeah. All right, but yeah, my thoughts starting to go. I think I'm gonna call it here and let my voice rest a bit. But thank you, Park. Thank you, Pachi, so much for stopping by. I'll be live again tomorrow with more LobCorp. We're back in the funny facility where I get to go suffer. And then on Sunday, I'll be playing Dispatch. Yeah. I've been having Dispatch is a delightful game. If you have the chance, you need to play it. It's so good, so fun, and like these people. I don't know how to describe it other than like it's the best Telltale-like game that that's ever come out. Yeah, I thought it's gone. Take care. I don't see anyone I would usually raid into, so I'm gonna yeah, no. None of my usual people are in for the raid, so I'm gonna go call it there. Take care, y'all. It's been fun having you. I hope I can talk to y'all again later. Bye-bye.